Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and there's the social media link should you wish to find me in other places on the internet. So today we are going to look at tags done in two different ways using napkins, and as you can see, and this is actually a good example, I like to use napkins, I use rice paper, I use things in my collage work, and I use it in my junk journaling. So I wanted to show you two different methods, and we're just going to get two tags. I've just chosen some manila, I can't say that, can I? Manila coloured tags for today's project, and I've also chosen just a napkin from a local supermarket that's quite pretty, and what I want is just a spring sort of feel tag to put in the background. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to cut this down the middle. Now these napkins are way too big for this, but this means I can actually position this wherever I choose. So let's put one with that one, and then we're going to work on one tag at a time. Now first of all, napkins come in different layers or laminations, sometimes two, sometimes three. So I'm just going to moisten my fingers slightly, just a little touch, and then I pinch and I pull it apart and it'll come apart. I know there's another lamination here, so I'm just going to pinch again and it will, there you go, start to pull apart. There you go. Now some napkins that are a little less expensive will actually come with only two laminations, so don't be hunting for three. If there's A2 and there's two, that's fine. You can usually see, because as you can see, it's really, the final layer is really quite transparent. So let's put that to one side. Now the first method is the glue stick method, which is one of my favourites, because I don't always need to protect my tags. They're not going to get bashed about that much. And if I'm using this method in my collage pieces, I know my collage piece is probably going to be sealed at the end anyway. So I'm going to take a glue stick, or this is actually a Pritt stick, which is the one I tend to use. Any glue stick will do, your favourite, it doesn't have to be this. And make sure you get a reasonably good coating on your tag. One thing to warn you about is do not be tempted to put your napkin on while you're still on your glue book, because guess what folks, it's gonna stick to the book as well. So there you go, that's nicely covered. You can see I put a reasonably nice creamy coat on there, and then I'm going to take my napkin. I find if I hold it and almost see through it as to where my tag is, I can then let gravity put it into place. Now if you need to peel it off, it can be a bit tricky, it's hit and miss, so just be aware. I'm using an old store card, credit card, whichever you use, and I like to smooth that down just to get any air bubbles out of it. And then what I will do is I will wait until this is fully dried before I trim off the edges. So let's just lift, oh, stuck to my board. That's not a good sign, is it? There you go, let's get that off there. So that's my first method. As I said, I will trim that off probably by the end of this video. I will trim that off for you. So I'm going to put that one to one side. As you can see, it goes on quite smoothly. The trick is to smooth this at an angle. Never push, you'll cut it. Always smooth over the top. And I do put a reasonably good coating of glue on it first. So let's move that to one side. Right, let's get myself a new glue page. Let's put that to one side. So the second method I'm going to be using is I'm using distress medium. This is the Ranger, or the Tim Holtz one. It's the one I prefer to use, but it's not the only one out there. So if you already use a collage medium, and I do know there's loads of them out there, then go ahead and use that. I just use this one because I've always used this one. And I'm using a soft wide brush. Again, it's a Ranger one, but that's because I dem stuff and I tend to dem brands. So come back in once again with our napkin, slightly damp fingers, pull it apart, slightly damp fingers, pull it apart. There you go. Now obviously if you're doing this method with tissue paper, or the glue stick method with tissue paper, you don't need to take the layers off, because tissue paper is just one layer. So put that to one side where I know what it's going to be. I'm going to bring this in. Now I tend to like the collage medium by Ranger because it's not as wet, and I'm sure that's going to confuse everybody, but I don't like it too wet because if the medium is too wet, you're likely to find that the tissue might bubble, the napkin, sorry, might bubble. So I like to make sure I've got an even coat on. I'm not making it super wet. I'm just giving it a nice coating. I move quite quickly with this because this medium does like to dry. So let's come in, and I think I'll put it on that side this time. Now, as it's on this time, I don't use my card this time. I take a little bit more of the medium and I brush out from the middle to the edges, trying to work out any air bubbles. Now, am I worried that there's wrinkles and stuff like this? Usually not, but nice smooth strokes will normally take out any wrinkles you do have. Okay, and once it's done, there's a point at which you're like, right, it's on, don't keep fussing with it. If you keep fussing with it, you are likely to actually damage it. Obviously, put your lid on your stuff. So there you go, that's that one done. I bet you I've glued that one down as well. No, I haven't, there you go. So just make sure that I've smoothed that bit down there. So let's go back to our previous one. Now, when it comes to cutting this off, I tend to just come in with the scissors and just go up the edges. You can either do it from the front or the back. You're only cutting the tissue. There's another way you could do this, and that is you could actually just get a whole sheet of card, put the tissue all over it, and then pass it through a die cutting machine and then cut it all in one go. So you wouldn't cut your tag first, you'd cut your tag afterwards. And also, if you've done an entire sheet, you could then decide, are these going to be journaling cards? Are they going to be belly bands? Are they going to be tags? What are they going to be? So I'm being a little careful because obviously this isn't 100% dry. And obviously my scissors is going all over the place with the glue. So as I said, I normally let them dry before I do this, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it was. So let's just wrap that one around that. So there you go. That would give me one of my tags. Now, obviously, you could put a feature on this. You could put a butterfly. You could put a label, anything you wish. But that would be the first way I would do it. This one is probably too wet to cut. But you know what? I'm going to risk it because I've got you watching me. So, and obviously, don't forget, guys, I'm cutting looking through an iPad here. So the cutting's probably not as accurate as I would like it to be. All of these offcuts of napkin, by the way, don't ever throw them out. I tend to put them in a bag, and then that gives me, sometimes you just want a little bit of a scrap in the background, or you want a little bit of piece of colour somewhere, or if you're doing another tag and you've got a space, you're like, oh, I just want a bit of colour in it, you can actually just use your scrap napkins for that. There you go. Not the most perfect cutting in the world, but as I said, it's wet. So there you go, two different methods. What's the benefit of one over the other? The one that I've used a glue stick for is quicker, it's dry faster. The one that I've used the collage medium for, it's a little more resistant to damage, and it is sealed. So hope you enjoyed that. That was just a little offering from me now. That's me saying goodbye. So this is Ceri the Crafter, C-E-R-I the Crafter, saying bye-bye. And these social media links, hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. Bye-bye now.